If energy really is attached to words or vice versa, may I please ask my black brothers and sisters very respectfully, why then have we been running around all of this time calling one another kings and queens as if it's something honorable or noble or even dignified, right, attached to that title?
Sex lives of royals in history. Louis XIV was one of the most powerful and influential monarchs in European history, but he was equally famous for his numerous extramarital affairs. He was notoriously unfaithful to his wife, Queen Marie-Therese, throughout their long marriage. However, the king's most unusual relationship was with his sister-in-law, Henrietta Anne Stuart, also known as Madame or Minette. Henrietta was the younger sister of Louis's wife, Marie-Therese, and was married to Louis's brother, Philippe, Duke of Orleans.
Vlad the Impaler was absolutely savage. He gained his infamous nickname from his gruesome method of execution, where he impaled his enemies on long, sharpened stakes. This method was intended to instill fear and deter his enemies. Vlad's preferred form of punishment involved driving the stake through the victim's body, often starting from the lower abdomen and exiting through the mouth or back. These impaled bodies would be displayed publicly as a terrifying warning to potential adversaries, contributing to Vlad's reputation for extreme cruelty. His brutal tactics and reign inspired the Dracula legend and left a lasting impact on history. Was he a good leader or simply terrifying?
Moving across the channel, King Edward II of England also had a controversial reign. It was marked by political upheaval, military failures, and personal scandal. Among the most infamous rumors surrounding him was his alleged homosexual relationship with his close friend and advisor, Piers Gaveston.
Why was Princess Margaret upset at Elizabeth II's coronation? Her Majesty's sister's maid of honor revealed how Elizabeth II's loved ones behaved at the coronation ceremony at the Palace of Westminster. Lady Anne Glenconner presents her book of memoirs, Lady in Waiting, My Extraordinary Life in the Shadow of the Crown. Glenconner tells that a few years later she was watching a movie about the coronation and noticed one thing. She said to Princess Margaret, "Ma'am, everyone looks so happy. Everyone except you."
Similarly, King Charles II of Spain, also known as El Hechizado or the Bewitched, was a monarch who suffered from numerous physical and mental health issues. These health problems were widely attributed to his parents' incestuous relationship, which produced several children with serious health problems.
Horrors of colonization. These images represent the atrocities committed in Congo during colonization, under the reign of King Leopold II of Belgium. These atrocities were carried out to instill terror and maintain control over the local population. This violence was often exercised in retaliation, or as punishment for those who did not meet the rubber harvest quotas imposed by the colonizers. Colonial state agents and concession companies used these inhumane acts to force Congolese people to collect more rubber, a highly demanded resource at the time.
Then there are the salacious details of Catherine the Great's love life. Catherine the Great of Russia was more than just a powerful ruler. She was also a woman with a voracious appetite for intimacy. Rumors of her many lovers circulated throughout the Russian court, including one of her most famous and enduring paramours, Grigory Orlov. Orlov wasn't just any ordinary lover either. He played a key role in helping Catherine seize power from her husband, Peter III. Their affair was widely discussed among courtiers, with some seeing it as evidence of Catherine's sexual prowess and independence, while others condemned her behavior as immoral. But Catherine didn't let the opinion of others stop her from pursuing her desires. She engaged in intimate relationships with several high-ranking courtiers, using her sexuality to gain influence and consolidate her power. To Caligula, the notorious Roman emperor who is remembered for his depraved and twisted behavior in bed. His perverse appetites included incestuous relationships with his sisters, forcing married women to participate in orgies, and even claiming to have had an intimate relationship with his horse, which he appointed as a consul. Caligula's desires were not only bizarre but also sadistic, and he took pleasure in humiliating and torturing his victims during his escapades. His obsession with power was often expressed through his intimate behavior, which he used to exert dominance and control over others.
Did you know that Ivan the Terrible, Russia's first Tsar, committed some of the most shocking acts in history? He wasn't just a ruthless ruler. He was known for his brutal paranoia. In 1581, he beat his pregnant daughter-in-law for wearing immodest clothing, causing her to miscarry. When his son confronted him, Ivan struck him with a staff, leading to his son's death. The Tsar was consumed by guilt, reportedly never recovering from this tragic act. Ivan established the Oprichnina, a secret police force that terrorized Russia. They executed anyone suspected of treason, leaving a trail of fear and blood. His reign saw the conquest of Kazan and Astrakhan, expanding Russia's territory. Yet his methods were so brutal that entire towns were depopulated. Ivan the Terrible's legacy is one of expansion and terror, a ruler whose paranoia and cruelty changed Russia forever.
The notorious King of England from 1509 to 1547 is best known for his insatiable appetite for women. He established a pattern early on in his reign, which involved getting a wife, discarding her when she failed to produce a male heir, and then taking on a mistress. Henry went through 6 wives, with 2 of them being executed and 2 divorced. In addition to his wives, Henry had a voracious sexual appetite that extended to prostitutes and even to his wife's sister, Mary Boleyn, with whom he's said to have fathered 2 children. According to historian
After the queen passed away, many people are wondering what will happen to the stolen diamonds that she kept for all these years. The Koh-i-Noor diamond, or the Great Star of Africa, and the Second Star of Africa diamonds are often seen as the symbols of imperialistic history. The 105-carat Koh-i-Noor diamond is one of the largest cut diamonds in the world and was originally mined in India thousands of years ago. Despite the diamond's complicated and mysterious history and many owners who claim to it across India, Pakistan, Iran, and Afghanistan, it now adorns a crown created for Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, to wear during her coronation as Queen Consort in 1937. It was handed over to the British royal family by South Africa's colonial authorities back in the day. Except now, after her passing, they want it back. And although there are rumors that Camilla will wear the crown jewels in Charles' coronation, it's yet to be seen. It has been worn by Queen Victoria, Queen Alexandra, and even Queen Mary, so the history is already deep in British roots. However, its original roots in Africa and India should never be forgotten.
So yeah, with this kind of energy attached to the words king and queens, or should I say the titles of kings and queens, there really should not be much wonder why, there's so much murder and jealousy and idolizing and narcissism and greed and backstabbing and rape and incest and whores and whoremongers and envy. And literally, the list just goes on and on with the debauchery, to be found within our communities, the Black communities, right? All of this is matching the energy of the royalties and the monarchy. And yes, I do know and understand that many Blacks were, kings and queens as well. And I also know that many of our own Black kings and queens sold us out. So I just don't think it would be fair to say that the majority of people that wear the title of king or queens are honorable, noble, righteous, virtuous human beings, right? And that's for almost any and every king or queen on any part of this earth, including many of the kings and queens to be found in the Bible. And this is why I very respectfully, ask people not to address me as queen, because that's a title I just will not, carry. I don't want to wear it. I find it to be very disrespectful and offensive, right? In my book, it's a very derogatory word, right? I feel like I'd much rather be called a bitch, right? Because those words in my book, they're about the same. Only difference is the female dog has proven herself to be far more loyal than most queens have. And so I guess my point kind of is, why is it that we are the only group of people that are running around manifesting and actualizing this debauchery of energy within our communities by calling ourselves kings and queens, right? I mean, even in Britain and in Africa, where there is actual royal blood or royal heirs and stuff that still exist, those people are not running around calling themselves kings and queens. And I don't know, like I said, just when I think about the energy that's attached to those titles, I want nothing to do with them. That's just me. Like, I feel like maybe we should move into try something different. You know, it's always evolution. It's good to evolve. You know, I don't know, call me ma'am, call me miss, call me, goddess. Like, let's try God and goddess, because I think that's more of the energy that we align with, or more of the energy that we need to align with anyway, right? Far more than we need to align with the kings and queens. So like I said, go ahead and let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, I'd like to ask you to go ahead and hit that like button. Do consider subscribing to the channel if you're not already a subscriber. And I thank you all so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.